there are many roads that lead to Cleveland, and a sizable part of America's history can be tied to this city in one way or another.
When President Trump signed an executive order yesterday about water, part of the subject of water had its birth in Cleveland. News 5 anchor Leon Bibb is here with the story, all new at 5, about a Cleveland waterway and the role it played in making this country's waters cleaner, Leon.
Indeed, President Trump signed an executive order aimed at rolling back an Obama-era rule that designates what smaller bodies of water fall under the Environmental Protection Agency. But that rule is a small part of a much larger story, which began in Cleveland. The Clean Water Act of 1972 empowers the federal government to protect the nation's waters. But which waters, under government jurisdiction, is a fiercely contested question. There is no disagreement that navigable rivers and lakes are covered, but some questions remain of some headwaters and streams. President Trump signed an executive order aimed at removing a rule in the Clean Water Act, which he contends would hurt farmers. A story out of the Clean Water Act of '72, which saw birth because of Cleveland. The act was an outgrowth of the then troubling pollution of the Cuyahoga River. In 1969, the Cuyahoga had become so filled with industrial waste, its toxic slick caught fire. The infamous 1969 fire was upriver from downtown Cleveland. This fireboat was used by Cleveland firefighters to douse the flames. Yes, 48 years ago, the Cuyahoga River caught fire. But something else caught fire. What started right here in Cleveland began a national movement for clean water. Cleveland's burning river thus began a push for federal legislation to clean America's polluted waters.
It gelled people. It was the right place, the right time historically, and the environmental movement, many can say, hey, kind of really started here.
It really advanced industrial manufacturing by having to figure out a way to do what you do without polluting the environment.
The Cuyahoga is now a poster child of clean water, hailed as the father of the nation's Clean Water Act of 1972. Which strengthened government scrutiny on waters. But President Trump and farm groups say an Obama rule inside the act places undue burden on farmers who may have to apply for permits to use fertilizer near their own property's ditches and streams, which may flow into larger rivers. The Trump executive order is aimed at rolling back one of the Obama environmental regulations. The Obama rule was added to the Clean Water Act of 1972. It was an act which grew out of Cleveland's Cuyahoga River when the nation began to better watch all of its waterways. The banks of the Cuyahoga River is where the Clean Water Act of 1972 actually began in this country. Much has changed for the better because of what Cleveland first demanded of itself and the nation agreed, not only for this city, but throughout the U.S. As for the Obama rule on streams on farmers' properties, there will be debate, but no debate over the overall subject of clean lake and river waters and the role Cleveland played in getting the nation there. Leon Bibb, News 5.